Counter, Logic Gaming do battle. I am Freak. The voice to my right is Kobe.
Hello, Freak. We went through the bans already, and we're a little bit too early here. Lucian is going to find his way onto the list as well. Definitely a super good, flexible pick right now, though we haven't seen it actually drafted and played around that much. See if we can actually find some set action as well.
I think Set is the best champion of the game right now.
Number one, huh?
Number one
so
champion.
on 10-2?
Yes, on 10-2. On 10-3, not anymore, but we're still on 10-2. I think the champion is absolutely busted. More important than Akali, more important than Lucian.
The
more important than
haymakers,
Rumble.
though.
Oh, man. It makes so much hay, every farmer won't have to buy any more livestock. You know, the cows get fed forever. Or horses, or whatever actually eats hay.
All right, I very much doubt that we'll have Alistar or any of the other cows showing up here. I would...
Hecarim.
Yeah, maybe a jungle target, though, from CLG. Svenskeren's actually played a different jungle champion every single game so far, though.
Yeah.
So maybe that would be a drop in the bucket here, and they can focus more on the solo lane. Set does go through.
I would always snap pick this.
There's been a decent amount of discussion, like, oh, can you blind pick it? Yes.
Yes.
100% you can blind pick it.
Do you blind pick Akali at Rumble? Yes.
Because a lot of the strength is health regeneration, is defensive stats. Even if you get a difficult early lane, you're going to be able to regen through it. And he still is such a big force in the team fights. Initially, people are like, yeah, just walk away from him, you silly. That's a hard counter to Set. Don't be near the he can
his backline's still hitting you. Bang is like, this team is 1-3 and Bang is still on the DPM charts as a top 5 player. Like Bang, this feels like the year that Bang is back. I think he's had a really kind of a rough time in NA. Bang is playing very, very well, and you give him a front line, and he will carry EG to victory.
All right, let's get into the CLG side, though. They draft the Jarvan-Aphelios combination. Jarvan is very good at going for early ganks, as we've already seen. Some players in the first week, then second week, I definitely had some over-aggressive moves. But Aphelios also needs some defenses with him, right? Because Aphelios does not have any self-peel, any dashes of any sort. So oftentimes, we see either Tahm Kench or Braum drafted with him, the two most defensive supports. Tahm Kench is banned, and they're actually not drafting Braum right now. So it's going to have to be a more offensive look for this Aphelios. And they're going to go full offense, looking for those kills. Nautilus, very high chance that is Aphelios Nautilus bottom lane. You can go for the kills onto Rakan Xayah lane, but Nautilus is a bit slower. So sometimes it is more difficult to get off your CC. Rakan can actually get good trades off on Nautilus because you can go so quick, and if you hit him with the W before he gets his auto off, before he gets his Q off, you don't have Aftershock. Then your Xayah can actually dump out some good damage.
Yep, you hit the guy in place, you eat backwards, now he's got no skill shots to land, life gets really, really hard for him. So we go through to the second phase, and I like this ban by Evil Geniuses. We had seen Logic Gaming put Kale for Ruin in a previous set matchup, and it did look really good. CLG came very, very close to winning in the game where they were so far behind because of that champion. Good ban here. CLG decided to wait on the top lane pick all the same, and that means that with the Nautilus coming through, they get that ban available.
Yep. Expect continual jungle targeting here. Either Elise, maybe the Rek'Sai, Gragas. These are the most prominent pro junglers. And then for the top lane ban here for EG, probably another ranged matchup for Set. Things like Kayle and Ryze that can abuse that early are fairly difficult to deal with. But they go with the Mordekaiser, who can actually split decently well because you can Death Realm.
This is interesting. So Svenskeren, you talked about him playing unique champions every game, has yet to play Elise, and EG has banned Elise even on blue side every single game they have played so far. So CLG's calling the fact that he maybe doesn't have Elise in the pool, or it's not scary enough, that they don't care about this champion. So this is a near 100% pick ban champion. Soraka top ends up being the counter to Set.
Well, so it's not a counter.
Well, not counter, sorry. So the response to Set.
Yeah, exactly. That good rephrase there, because Soraka does not, counter Set. Soraka top lane is not about your top lane matchup. And Soraka should be able to farm just fine versus Set. So I do like this secondary pickup here. We assume that's going top lane, by the way. You can still move these champions around, but
no, not this one.
That's the highest probability. Soraka top lane, so you can heal the rest of your team. You can actually leave your lane for dragon fights and stuff like that pretty early on as well. You don't have to worry too much about that top side of the map because it doesn't have that big effect. And Freak, the challenge is accepted. Svenskeren's going to be able to pilot this Elise.
Okay. And Syndra comes through on the other side. Syndra into Orianna, typically considered a favored Syndra matchup, but we have not seen great things come out of Crown just yet this season. Was a highly prized mid laner. People thought he was arguably an upgrade over power people whom he replaced, but Pee-wee's been having a great year. Crown has been having a horrible one. I want to see that guy step up. CLG fans need something out of their mid laner, and they're going to hope they can get this one here.
And this is very clear. If you look at these team compositions, the action should be from CLG all on the bottom side of the map. There should be 0% jungle proximity going up to a Soraka set lane, because you are never killing sets ganking for a Soraka lane. So Wigglily's got a pretty clear path, I think, here. So everything in this game for CLG should be geared towards pathing towards the bottom triangle of the map. That includes mid lane, by the way.
Yeah.
Whenever I say top triangle or bottom triangle, yeah, that's what I'm referring to as mid lane plus bottom or mid lane plus top. But EG should recognize that as well, playing from their side. And Svenskeren can also look to counter. Elise does very well if you get there first and you have a brush with which to start out from, because your Cocoon full combo, you can chunk them down to 50% before they get to retaliate.
And the CC chain is going to be enough in almost all cases. A lot of hard crowd control on the EG duo lane, decent amount on the CLG duo lane as well, especially if you have Graviton there for the Aphelios. It's going to be an exciting matchup as we get ourselves into the first game of the day. Let's go LCS, Evil Geniuses and Counter Logic Gaming do battle. One other thing I want to bring up, because we have seen Soraka top a couple times now. My read on Soraka is that she is not incredibly team comp reliant, right? We're in a metagame where you have carries in the bottom lane already. Like, damage output tends to be in most comps anyway. Soraka is generically just quite good.
Yeah,
right?
Because, Freak, every champion has health, and you can heal every champion. We have not made a champion that doesn't have health yet.
Yet. Who knows? Yeah. Yumi sometimes skips around that one, but
Yeah.
But yeah, it is one thing I want to point out that I think like Soraka is generically just very, very powerful, and sometimes that can just in general, she is worth picking in almost every team composition. And so you might be like, but what does Soraka accomplish here? Are they trying to like make Wiggily? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, she's just good. You're just gonna play the champion.
I do like it when you have good, at least little bit of CC to work with to structure the team fights. And I feel like she really shines there. While you can pick her with any team composition, it's very nice when the Soraka gets easy access and can stay right by the carry, keep him up the entire time, and a little bit of CC does structure your team fight for you. But I completely agree with you. Definitely at a power level right now that's worth drafting in those scenarios. Funnily enough, though, we would say similar things about Set, right? And if you look at the inventory, it's gone with the classic 3 rejuvenation beads for the full sustain. Not going to be able to whittle down this set at all. That plus the passive, plus the strong base stats for the champion. Kumo can actually take this harassment and just focus on farming CS. So basically top lane, for me, is literally just focusing on last hits and wave control.
Yeah, small thing about Kumo playing Set here in the passive. You actually, outside of Spirit Visage, you can't multiply the passive health regen. It's its own flat value that stacks on top. Not that it's wrong to buy rejuve beads. His actual base HP 5 is absurdly high.
Exactly.
It's like 1.5 per second, so he's, just invincible here. And we'll take some autos and kind of barely feels it.
And that's the thing. The lower that you get, then your second part of your passive does kick in harder, and you'll regenerate that much quicker. But like we said, focusing on the rest of the map, because that's where the junglers are going to play. As expected, Wiggily did start red. He's going with a bottom focus jungle clear.
Happened to turn left. Ruin turned left, got away from the Cocoon.
I don't think, don't think there's going to be any big
Thought it was Zoolander.
ramifications there. That's a decent call out. I wonder how many people have actually seen the original Zoolander. It's getting kind of old now.
Yeah, that's true. Well, so am I. Wait, he just showed up from top lane. He's already there in the mid. Crown, you knew he was top river.
Oh, he did just show. And usually after the enemy jungler shows like that, and Wiggily is on your mini-map, he was on this bottom side, Crown actually hovering to the wrong side of the map. You always want to hug the side your jungler is on, away from the enemy, but Svenskeren gets in there for an early kill in that mid lane, and that is going to go a long way. Elise now with some early money. We'll see if he can actually affect bottom side of the map as well.
Whew, Svenskeren just walks right down, double buffs on.
Yeah, look, Jarvan is showing. Crown could be hovering. Oh, okay. So here's a possible insight into what Crown was thinking there. He was trying to force Jiizuke
right
to the Jarvan. That is erroneous because they just saw the Elise on top side, like you were saying, so he should be respecting the possibility of Svenskeren there. But that's what I would guess would be his thinking there. By positioning up to the top side, he wanted to force Jiizuke into Wiggily, and it completely backfires.
Yeah.
Giving them first blood. No flash was blown, though, because Crown knew as soon as that Elise showed up, oh, I have made an error, and he is dead. So he does at least hold on to his summoner.
Sven looks to find out what camps the Elise might be on, sees he's not on Krugs, and then the ward there should be seen by Sven. Sven, those trinket wards stealth very slowly. So he saw it come down, he's waiting, saying, okay, so I'm going to face check this. Look, I'm not in this brush, you don't know I'm here. Anything happening, gonna wait around for a little bit. We'll see if anything comes down later on. As top gets pushed back up, and he's, okay, I'll knock him on this board.
And I do like CLG's focus on putting the wards in bottom side. Because Svenskeren, they know just cleared top side. This is gonna be the next area that he enters, so they're trying to keep track and keep tabs on the Elise from here on out.
And similarly, we saw a mid ward come down from Jiizuke about 30 seconds ago that was in the top lane brush because Jarvan was mostly clearing bottom side, so his camps are up in the top half. Wiggily is top half. He's going to try to get around Kumo here. Does not have obvious tools to get away. He's going to press some movement speed by a little bit of space there and
got him.
Yeah, not any knockups to be had, so Kumo walks away.
Yeah, that's why we were talking about straight from champ select going to be fairly difficult to affect the top lane. And I think that time spent up in the top triangle in this game is fairly wasted time. It's going to actually give Evil Geniuses this opportunity on Dragon because they showed Jarvan top side and Zet just walks his way out.
I mean, this is Svenskeren playing very well, right? The defending MVP, 2019 split Honda MVP over on Cloud9, got him to the finals and gets to take a Drake. He sees the Jarvan show top side. He hasn't taken all his camps. Gets to grab the slowest of the Drakes in Mountain. Their bot lane draft's already great. We already know Bang is awesome, and they're winning the duo lane as well.
All right.
Or at least having it.
After Dragon has been taken from the Rift, it actually changes all the dynamics. We're approaching 6 minutes here. So we've got about another minute and a half before teams start thinking about pushing out their waves to recall and do a lane swap to look at the Rift Herald. Next big neutral objective. So Evil Geniuses feel very good about picking up that Dragon uncontested. And as you can see, you keep referring to this bottom lane and the pushing that's going on from Bang and Zeyzal. If they retain control of this minion wave, doesn't look like Stixxay and Smoothie want to let them do that, though.
I got a quick pause into this one. We'll figure out what's going on with that one before too terribly long. But in the meantime, we've got a decent start for Evil Genius here, of course, right? They've got the extra gank off. They're up a couple hundred gold off of this one. Again, bot lane actually is going pretty well for Stixxay's side. He and Smoothie are laning 2-on-2 pretty nicely, which is some impressive stuff for them. See, Felios can always try to take over. And Crown, you know, despite that one gank and you could call it misposition, you could call it trying to aggressively force a gank because of where his jungler was. He's actually up CS right now in the mid lane.
Yeah, he was able. He used his teleport to get back to mid lane. So that's the reason why he didn't drop any CS despite dying. It does bring up the conundrum of a teleport difference in mid lane, though, because Jiizuke does still have his for Orianna. Now, Orianna teleporting to another side of the map is fairly low impact, especially early stages of the game. So we expect it'll just be another teleport back to lane for him. But does mean that he should be able to keep up as well. So Svenskeren on your screen, the guy to get the action already early in this game with his Elise straight down the river. Honestly, didn't take too much finagling for him to do that. As we were talking about kind of the positioning there from Crown, definitely gave him that opportunity. And EG, very happy to get it, but by no means is it going to cause a huge shift in this game.
Yeah, it's gonna be EG working for it. They are ahead right now, a little bit over Chronological Gaming, right? Single Mountain Drake of moderate use certainly does matter. It helps the set be invincible because it'll just multiply all his stats he already has, and he tends to build fairly bruisery in the first place. And small gold lead, but most of that's on Svenskeren. That means he should probably try to snowball his early through mid game and get some early magic pen and get some more kills. But game is obviously within striking reach for CLG.
And both teams should be looking at, where are their efforts going to be best placed to actually get them a better chance to win the game. We've seen top lane gank from CLG, even if you do get, probably best scenario is you burn the Set's flash.
Yeah.
So you get a flash advantage in the top lane. That probably doesn't move your needle towards a team victory for Soraka having flash advantage over a set in the top lane very much at all. That's why I really was hoping for some more early attention towards the bottom half where your Aphelios is going to be late game win condition. You know, it's Crown and Stixxay are going to be the ones that the Soraka has to keep up in order for them to win these team fights. But now that Dragon is gone, the dynamics change as we led up to. And it's this meta that we've been talking about a lot for the new Rift Heralds that kind of started even back last year with Clutch Gaming.
Yeah, this was the like, okay, it's 10 minutes, right away, we're grabbing Herald, we're recalling, showing up right away with 4 people, grab that, cash in 320 gold with plates, maybe it's 480 if we get lucky with the third one, and cool, we've snowballed the early game. Even if we sack one wave because we recalled early, but we got more for it anyway, where, you know, it's a tempo play, right? It's we know we'll get a lot out of this one. And now, yeah, the 8-minute metagame right now, especially in North America, but it seems to be kind of accelerating worldwide as well, is this 8-minute recall, go Herald play. And if you're smart, you know, you don't recall in vision at 7:55 to show that you don't have numbers there anymore. You know, you make sure your whole squad's there and you're ready to go.
Yeah. So it is very important for keeping track of the wave clear in these minutes leading up to it for bottom lane to see who can get there first. They did make some changes to Rift Trail to reduce the health on it a little bit, so it's a little bit quicker to take than previously. Still takes a decent investment, though, because there is that kind of time gate where you have to wait for the eye to open up again, throwing autos at it to get the real big bursts of damages with the true damage.
Yeah.
So generally, teams have a little bit of leeway to respond. But I think it's pretty cool how a lot of people were memeing on Clutch Gaming last year with their intense focus on Rift Heralds.
But it's smart.
All over the world, and it has taken over. Now, it's even boosted this year by the changes to Rift Herald. Now we have 2, you know, and shorter channel time and all that. So the value has also gone up. But it is one of those things that really did start in North America.
Yeah.
North America macro freak.
I mean, any macro, I think, gets a bad rap, Kobe, but there's a lot of smart things here that teams do. It is interesting to me because this is something that like, a lot of teams don't research NA teams. I know, like, there's a kind of famous soundbite for me of Faker where someone asks him about, like, hey, so what do you think of your mid lane? It's like, I don't even know who's on the opposing team. Like, he'll go to, like, Worlds, and it's like, I have no idea who, like, is in this group with me because if they're not Korean or European or Chinese, I don't care. They're not as good as me. And yeah, I like that we've got a league where, yeah, some of the innovations does come here. It doesn't go worldwide yet until we, you know, bring it out at something like MSI or Worlds, and it ends up being pretty good. So we are back into the game now. Had a screen freeze. We're back here. Smoothie wants to stop the recall, and really, really good play by Zeyzal. Make sure to build the time. Make sure to tank the anchor. Let Bang go back and grab his BF sword. Really heads up play by Zeyzal.
All right, going to get his purchase in and head straight back to lane. That CS lead for Stixxay, though, they're able to increase it as well. They're trying to get the hard shove out so he can also get a recall, because money in your pocket is not going to do a whole lot for you if your opponent returns with a BF sword.
Nope.
A sword in the pocket is worth way more.
Oh, I think it's very much the sword in the hand is worth 2 in the shop.
Fair enough.
I think that's exactly how that's supposed to work.
I would say it's worth infinite swords in the shop, actually.
Depends if you let me recall afterwards. So I can grab 2 and go back to lane. I'll lose the plate for it. It's fine.
All right. How many swords can you hold if you were trying to hold the maximum number of swords from the shop in your hands physically?
Oh, like me physically?
Yes.
I mean, I just like hold up a monitor with like an entire league game on it, and that's like 20. Oh, now Ruin taking a whole bunch of damage, heals up back up, and again, we were expecting no kills in the top lane. We're still right.
Now, an ult for ult trade is positive for Kumo, but Wiggily heading around there with the control ward. He was thinking about it. Again, considering, though, that he wasn't going to gain a whole lot, even if he did show up there, right? And unless there's more extreme aggression from Kumo, diving under tower and stuff, they're not going to get a whole lot closer to the win condition. So he pulls out of that possible play. Now, again, though, ult for ult trade is positive for EG here because Kumo's is just a in-lane ultimate, whereas Soraka could be used globally to turn something on the bottom half of the map. So good individual play there from Kumo, you know, earning a small advantage.
Forcing the global, usually pretty nice. Cooldown difference also about 45 seconds, so even if they want to re-gank at about 60 from now, it'll be ult for nothing. And that might be useful as well if they want to either roam or, who knows, maybe even gank top lane. Wiggily getting his camps down, is second to level 6 though, has to keep farming as best that he can, and does get the ulti off of that camp, so at least he's caught up now with his own ulti. And we're still in a 500 gold difference game right now, where Svenskeren is pretty much the reason for EG's leads.
And, you know, you'd think 500 gold's not that big, but item completion for jungle item is huge, especially for Runic Echoes. The gold efficiency on jungle completions is very high, but Runic Echoes also for mage junglers, you have this kind of really awkward phase where you're buying a mana crystal if you can't get the full completion on Runic Echoes. So the power up from that stage to full completion is an incredible amount of burst. Level 6 double buff Elise with Runic Echoes here. Svenskeren should be looking on the move to create another play. And if we're going to target a play, Soraka's ult is still down, so there's a possibility trying to go bottom side, and that is why CLG have placed these wards deep in the bottom jungle. Try and take away those possibilities.
Yeah, that was down for a long time. They've been able to track a decent amount. One thing I didn't catch until recently is that blue buff was stolen away by Svenskeren not too long ago. They're actually wearing 2 buffs on EG right now, and Crown actually pushed the right-hand side. So what we were looking at earlier is trying to push your opposing mid laner towards your jungler, not quite in cocoon range, finds a bit of a slow, and he thought that was going to be Shockwave. Crown burns the flash, and yeah, it was actually Jocko coming down. We didn't see the animation, but that was flash for ult.
Yep. Jiizuke pretty happy with that trade because Crown cowering under tower now. You'll take a shockwave for flash every time. Ooh.
Easy. Easiest walk away of his life. Wiggily knows what it's like. There's Cocoon, though. It's going to land. There's going to be some follow-through. Puts him at 2/3 HP, and Sven just walks away. Says, okay, I guess we'll kind of fight over these chickens. There's a 6-pack. I'll get 2, you get 3. Fair enough.
Interesting thing about the chickens, too. More experience for live moved into the small ones, I believe. Or was that just Krugs?
The Krugs is the only one that moved on 10.3.
Popcorn chicken, still useless.
Yep.
Here we go. Dragons started up.
Almost the knockup. Zeyzal has an easy way out. There's the anchor. They pull in Zeyzal. Lots of CC layered on top. Can't get out just yet. And they layer it so well. Counter logic gain and pick one up. But Wiggly's got to be careful. Going to jump backwards. Gets the heal. Wick was up in time. Jiizuke knocks down Wiggily. And Felios on the back line. It's so much damage. Q can't land. It's set. Picked up another kill. Kumo makes it a 2-for-1 fight.
Yeah, Kumo able to dunk right into the back line. And with the Tiamat, has a lot of AoE damage as well. Finishes off the extra kill. Stixxay with the turret up. He's got the mark
really
on the
safe here. And Bang doesn't actually ult in time, takes the full damage, has to kite back. Stixxay can actually win this fight by himself. The punch comes across. Oh, they can't steal it away, but able to stay alive. There's the anchor. That can get the kill on Kumo. They knock him down. Svenskeren has to burn the flash. And Stixxay makes the big plays to get a kill on the board.
Felios will not be ignored. He's just standing right there. Stixxay dumping out the damage with the turret as well. This is going to give them priority of the map. And instead of being a uncontested free dragon, it's probably going to turn into a Rift Herald in exchange for CLG. So even though they do lose that fight in the jungle and give up the dragon, getting something back for themselves with Stixxay still fighting around.
Okay, so look at this game state, 300 gold apart. And the game state now in 2020 League of Legends is individual Drake buffs don't mean all that much. It's the soul that matters. Those 2 Drake help EG a bit, but it's 300 gold and some minor buffs. Now, if they get 2 more, if they get soul, it's going to look really good for them. But if CLG fights back from this point, it's going to be fine.
All right, take another look at the fight in the jungle that caused it all. They do walk back from Zeyzal because he had the sweeper there, so really good presence of mind there by CLG. And then they burst down Zeyzal. But Wiggily a little bit slow on releasing his own Cataclysm, and it allows Kumo time to come in, gets the ultimate. He gets the stun off a really nice combo right there, so it stuns up both of them. And then Haymaker comes through. They finish it off.
Look at this counter logic gaming. Going to find themselves first turret almost certainly here. Wiggily managed to pick up the Rift Turret a while ago and drops to the top lane. Stixxay getting a lot of local gold. And as the recall comes off for Smoothie just in time, that last plate and first turret gold all goes Stixxay.
I do think that there should be some plates picked up by EG on the bottom half of the map because everybody has gone topside for CLG. So they just had Elise pushing in and they're trying to get that wave done. So maybe they'll get 1 or 2 back for themselves. Shelly getting off the last charge as well. Always feels nice to get that full value.
Alrighty, well, only 3 turret plates taken. The bot lane was shoved in by Bang and Zeyzal, but Bang ultiless was afraid of Crown, possibly one-shotting him. which is totally doable on a level 10 Syndra. So takes the recall anyway, walks out, and doesn't cash in anymore. As we reset off this game, 30 seconds to go till plates drop, and CLG Gaming have tied up the goal despite the kill deficit.
All right, let's start to pose some theoretical team fights then, because we're getting to the stage of the game. We just got level 11 on Orianna here for Jiizuke, and this is going to be such a big part of the EG team fight. When you have a set Orianna, this is one of my favorite new combos with the champion. Set ulting someone of the enemy into the back line, you get a really good slow when you land with it. So if Orianna can pass the ball to Set before he jumps in with the ultimate, you get this great shockwave combo upon landing, which can be really devastating if the Set is also able to aim his body well into the enemy team.
Yeah.
And you can get this big lead in the team fight right out of the bat just from 2 players having some synergy.
Well, Q mark lands the offhand, gets the Gravitum Root as well. With enough CDI, you actually turn the Gravitum Root into another sniper Q.
That's everybody focusing here. 2 flanks coming up.
And Smoothie again gonna try to fight for some CS, but mid lane shoved into the easy reset, and no one's doing anything too aggressive just yet. Still a very close game here. Smoothie taking the front line. Cocoon's gonna not quite land. The control ward is killed off, and CLG trying to wrest control of mid lane. That's a nice little sweeper there. Is going to allow Bang to knock down not only the trap, but the trinket ward as well.
All right.
Timed out.
Next thing to look for, too, when there's a Soraka in the game, you're always looking at healing reduction. And we did actually get an early Executioners from Kumo. So I think Kumo's doing a lot to play for the team so far. If he rushes the Executioners, that's actually pretty good at applying it. And it allows Bang to just go straight DPS, right? It feels a little bit bad always for the AD carry to have to stop off and get an Executioners. So for EG, they're hoping that Kumo gets that good ult, can get into the middle of the team, and apply very nicely.
Alrighty, 45 seconds on the Cloud Drake spawning up. If you're looking for 100 Thieves in Team Liquid, stay tuned, it's next. Get into that one, but right now, Evil Geniuses and CLG Gaming posting up 30 seconds to the Cloud Drake spawns, and this is about the time. And it feels appropriate that CLG should be able to contest for this, stop the race towards Cloud Soul.
Especially if the top laners remain top side, because Kumo's teleport will be a little bit distinct from Dragon Spawn. Ulting in.
Decent damage, but Ruin is fairly tanky. Still pulled back. They get him pretty low, and that's still a good play. They force out Wish. And Ruin has to be careful to not be dove again. He can't be sure that Elise can't come topside, so gives up control, and Kumo gets the mid-game lead up in the top side. He's gonna knock down this turret.
The young guy on the team doing so much work here, Freak. First pick set for Kumo. He's been able to gain them so much of an advantage. Bottom side, Dragon is started up, and there's still no teleport for him, though.
Okay, Ruin comes down. This should be an easy 5v4. Should not be contestable. Shockwave, not gonna land, but he was in range to get killed off. The Eye of the Tiger for Smoothie picks off Jiizuke.
Yeah, that was too close. They had no business fighting that because, like we said, Set can't join. Kumo stuck on top side, no teleport still with a small difference on the timer. So you're waiting around that dragon. Nothing really going to get accomplished unless you get a miracle steal, which is very low chance. Good punish there by CLG. They're happy to put a stop to that build up towards Soul. You mentioned like that is the big breaking point, right? And this buys them so much time. If you let the other team get 3, you constantly feel under pressure, and you feel like you lose one mistake. The enemy team can always force on you on any dragon because of the threat of Soul.
You got to point out the fact that, yeah, look at this. Interesting. Stixxay is the gold leader. Again, a lot of that was that trip to top lane with the Rift Herald that Wiggily summoned. Gave them a good, like, 700 gold or so off that play. And he's the leader on the squad right now. Kumo, you can see how much he is above Ruin, though. Jeez, like 1,500 up on that top side with 50 CS in the turret.
CLG also have a decent amount of pick potential in their comp that must be respected. Syndra's stun is very long range. I feel like a lot of people don't respect the full range of a good Syndra player. Landing that scatter of the week. That plus, you know, Nautilus, of course, having point and click if you ever get too close to the Nautilus means that they definitely can punish people for poor positioning. So that cannot happen for EG again.
EG still pulling up, though. You can see Svenskeren getting another buff steal there. Red buff taken away. We just now walked into that side of the map. Kumo gonna get a Gromp leash. Ruin really just has to sit back and take what farm he is given. his top lane difference. First pick set's doing a lot of work, and Ruin has had to ult selfishly to survive the 1v1. Now Wiggily taking some damage. Smoothie around, though, to keep him alive, and they can shove it in mid lane yet again. Now Crown wants to play. He wants to talk down Jiizuke. Has the Q, lands the, not quite the slow, but gets the stun. Another Q. There's the ult in as well. Good damage, but it's not going to kill him just yet. The flash dodges the Q. Jiizuke, there's the wish over the top. He's dodging every single Q. The shockwave there as well. But Wiggily shows that it's 3v1. But the minions are enough for Jiizuke.
Even though EG get the assisted kill. Well, never mind. We're going to have a push out here onto tower as the focus on objectives goes through. Even though CLG get that assisted kill, so technically you get more money, Jiizuke completely outplaying Crown there on the top side. Let's take another look at it step by step. So he comes around the edge. I was thinking he was going to stun from outside of range, but in the end, he does get the stun, not the W damage. Jiizuke flashes the next Q, then Crown flashes, thinking that Jiizuke was going to have a command move there, but he didn't. Jiizuke holds his command move, then he gets the good shockwave off. Because it's in the minions, Crown is tanking a full wave of minions. It's able to finish him off even after Jiizuke ends up going down. Again, looking at gold totals though, because CLG get an assisted kill, you do technically get more gold.
150.
In the end, though, it does result EG also getting the mid tower, so worth.
And look at the difference here, 1,500 gold. Evil Geniuses up a Drake buff, up 1,000 and change. Looking pretty good here. Six, they're gonna find some decent damage there. Puts the turret down, strikes the turret. I guess puts the trap down, strikes the turret a few times, gets that down to about 2/3. And we have 75 seconds until that next Drake comes up. CLG on the back foot, but they are scaling with Stixxay. Going towards the Hurricanes. Got a long time to go till that comes online, unfortunately. 1,100 gold, not enough to finish the item just yet. Should have, I think, almost enough time to finish the item in time for the Drake fight. That'll be a really big power spike. If you can manage to slot into Infernum. And now Kumo in the middle of 3. Knocked up, slowed, silenced, rooted. Here comes a lot more. Big giant shield. Ducks to get away. He's running. He's not slowed. He's trying to get out the flash. The autos are not enough. He is running for dear life. The anchor. And Smoothie says that's an acquired taste. Kumo goes down.
Smoothie does get the flash anchor in the end, chasing him down and securing that kill top side for EG. Pushing with 2 members, Jiizuke and Svenskeren will get a tower in payment for Kumo's life.
Alrighty. Well,
or will they? They're going to leave it this low. They want to get their recalls off for sure.
Yeah, Drake is important. Kumo responds the exact... It will die, but no one's going to get local gold on this one. Kumo is going to revive the exact time the Drake comes up. Ruin can't TP, can only wish to help it.
I feel like EG minions are the highest paid minions of all LCS minions, because they're doing the most work, or at least they should be the highest paid. They take down Crown, they finish off the turret. Well done, blue minions. Setting up for the dragon now. Crown looks for the stun, does get it onto Zeyzal, but EG are getting the vision cleared. Control wards quickly going down.
Okay, wards going back and forth here as we have Ruin walking back down. He's already back in the mid lane already at the third top side. 5v5 right in the middle of the map. Kumo has TP, but has come mid to fight for this control right now. Cloud Drake alive. Mid lane cleared first by EG. They walk back into the river. They've got ward control. Smoothie's got to be careful. If they shock with him, they can one-shot that poor Nautilus.
Exactly, and remember, he doesn't have flash because he used it offensively to get the pick earlier. See if it comes up in this...
Oh! Shock within the brush was nearly a kill, but nothing lands out. Wiggily in the back lands a flash away. Smoothie in the front line. Here comes the team fight. Waiting for the re-engage. Big damage. They pull him right back in, and Nautilus will be 6 feet underwater.
And that should be dragon control. Wiggily doesn't have flash now. He just used it in that team fight. He's going to go for the steal.
There's no way he lives. He ults in and EQs his way back to his team. Gets a quick heal. They are staying alive. Nice little bit of damage. They found the stun. They found so much damage. The silence knocks down Svenskeren. Now it's a jungler advantage for Counter Logic Gaming. 4v4. They have to go right back in for the Cloud Drake. And health bars are big. Ruin can keep them topped off. This should look pretty CLG favored. Bang is isolated. He has no front line to fight with. There should not be a problem in knocking down this Cloud Drake. They put a bit more damage down. They let Wiggily solo it. They know he can do the rest. They can land the spite. They get it. Almost finds the slow with the GLP. That might have been a pick. But it's CLG going 1-for-1 and grabbing that second Cloud Drake.
CLG turning that team fight at the end with 2 members on Dragon. What a pick for themselves. That stun was so high value, and this Now evening up the Dragons. Double clouds here for CLG in the aftermath.
Oh, quick blue buff pickup here, and EG having to lick their wounds. They got to figure out how to win these team fights. They're up in gold, they were up in buffs, but they're losing the fights back-to-back now.
All right, turning focus towards the Baron side of the map. Currently, CLG does have control wards inside of it, but Zeyzal and Jiizuke moving into the area to try and clean. A couple big power spikes, too. Now Wiggily, definitely ready to play frontline for the team, even without the flash. Keeping them in the same area for Cataclysm combo with Syndra and Aphelios on the team is all you need to accomplish.
I want to point out, I actually really like Kumo going Titanic Hydra here. Executioners applies the Grievous One's debuff to anything that you deal physical damage to. Titanic is a gigantic AoE splash you can hit the backline with and apply more Grievous Wounds, which I think is really exciting. CLG aren't new to this game. They're going to play again on Monday. Tune in at 5 p.m. on Monday for Monday Night League. CLG will close out their week against Immortals at that time. CLG fans, stay tuned. It's a 2,000 gold difference. It's certainly winnable here, but EG looking to find their second win, but have not won team fights for a while.
Stixxay feeling confident here on the Aphelios. He's got Soraka right behind him to heal him back up, so as long as he doesn't get bursted down, they should be able to pull it off. Trying to wave clear desperately here. If we get a vision toggle, EG have such a big advantage over CLG right now. They're forced to face check in.
They pull in a nice knockup there. Smoothie goes to the back line. They stun Jiizuke, but the front line takes so much damage. Bang. They've hit a 3-hit. Kumo slowed down on the side. They pull right back in. He stops Wiggily. They might kill the Jarvan, but they can't find the root. Kumo's at 5 HP. A flash wave for Stixxay gets away from Zeyzal. Ult comes down. Big damage there, but a shockwave on 4 buys time. But it's not enough. Jiizuke goes down yet again, biting off more than he can chew.
And in the extended team fight, Soraka heals CLG back to full. They've taken down Jiizuke, 35 seconds, and a teleport is ready. If EG can buy time, 30 more seconds, then he can teleport there.
They have a Soraka, they're not going to lose any health. They can go for the Baron and sit here for so very long. Sustaining back up, Redemption keeps the health bars big, so what does EG do? It is 4 versus 5. Kumo walks back onto this side of the map. They know Svenskeren's alive, but without a smite, or sorry, without a flash, only the smite, only repel to get in. In comes the dunk, tries to make the play happen. Is it enough? Kumo picks up Crown, but they trade him back 1 for 1. He's forced to run away. Svenskeren at 2 HP. Stopwatch keeps him alive, but they should be able to smite this one. And Counter Logic Gaming claim the Baron. They claim the Elise as well. And here comes Jiizuke. Comes in for a slow, looking to knock someone down if he can. Shockwave, pulls back to support. They've already grabbed 1 kill. Looking for a little bit more. They cannot quite grab Smoothie, but it's a close fight. In the end of the day, though, CLG limp away with 2 Baron buffs.
Whew. This is definitely a closey, freak. They buy almost enough time for Jiizuke. Not quite there, though. Take a look at this. As soon as Kumo arrives, he's able to get the dunk into the Baron. Big AoE on 3 members. Then he immediately stuns and gets the Haymaker, finishing off Crown. Goes down immediately, and Zeyzal has to get his way out of there. Svenskeren able to get the Zhonya's off and stuns Soraka before going down. As you know, only 1 more is picked up off of Jiizuke teleporting in here. But if he had been able to Shockwave and catch Aphelios as well, maybe that would have been a full clean. Regardless, let's get back to live and look at what they can do with this Baron buff, because this is going to be the big moment for CLG. They've got no wins so far in the LCS. Now, wearing purple, Stixxay is massive on Aphelios. 4 kills for himself. Yeah, triple item power spike. As long as they keep him up, they've got frontline, they've got healing. That's all they need to do with this Baron. Push straight ahead.
3 items, IE in. That is the power spike. He is ahead of spikes on Bang. He is the better team fighter on the champion based on items so far. CLG should be comfortable completely to take almost any battle right now. And with this strength, with still a minute on Baron, with the item Stixxay has, that Cloud Drake should be always theirs. They're going to sit for 1 more wave first, see if they can knock down this turret. Look for the flank. But Smoothie's already marking him. Smoothie's already there to make sure nothing happens as they say, okay, you can clear the wave after all. We'll go for the Drake instead. Knock down the control ward. Scuttle Crab Vision is going to drop now as well. And EG looks like they want to fight. Positioning going to be so important if Aphelios is safe. It's going to be fine for CLG. There's the engage. They've caught Svenskeren yet again. CLG on the board. A big nugget for Zeyzal on a 3. Shotgun right afterwards, but they are not dead just yet. They're so tanky. There's a big shield. The boss tries to do it, but he's fired anyway. And now it's EG forced to run away yet again. Counter Logic Gaming, 2 for 1 in the fight, and the Drake is theirs.
And Ruin barely keeps Wiggily up through the grievous wounds there. Having the jungler survive is so critical. Kumo almost took him down in that 2 for 1, but he survives. Ruin keeps him alive, and that means they get Cloud Drake number 3. Take another look at Smoothie getting the hook onto Svenskeren and immediately into the silence. This is why I kept talking about Soraka being so much better when you have CC on your team. Her silence is amazing as follow-up CC. Smoothie gets the hook in. They're able to silence him in full burst. Here's the one I was talking about. Wiggily almost goes down in that Cataclysm as well to Kumo, but they barely finish off Kumo in time. The ult is not complete. Wiggily stays alive with the Soraka healing, and CLG, they don't get inside the Evil Genius's base on their push with Baron, but they do get themselves to Soul Point for the last Cloud Drake.
Big stuff right here. Counter Logic Gaming inching closer and closer to their first win of the year. It was a slow start for them, but Stixxay is 6-0 on the Aphelios. He's 3,000 gold up, or 2,000 gold up, over the opposite AD carry. He was such a big factor in CLG's earlier successes. You think back a few years, MSI Finals, he was at the forefront of that one. The remaining member from one of North America's best ever tournament results. And he's sort of on that form, at least in this game. The back line has been very good for CLG here. Looking at the next play. We know it's going to be a while until the objectives come back up, but maybe there's going to be an assassination attempt. Smoothie walks forward, looks for a Q. Not going to find the play just yet, but Wiggly's close by as well.
Keep your eyes on Kumo, on the top right of your screen right there. He's constantly looking for the play.
Q. There's the ult. They've caught a bit on a Zeyzal. They're going to go for the re-engage. A big stun can be found. Zeyzal finds a knockup. There's the backline access, the dunk in from the boss, and it's a 1-for-0. Kumo's got the shield, but they're going to trade him right back. A 1-for-1. They just have the backline damage. And CLG run right back up the mid lane.
Yeah, CLG are very happy to take that. They trade their support for the set. That is the biggest part that EG have to try and contest them at these objectives. Smoothie does go down, but Kumo in exchange means CLG get to push on a tower, and they should be able to finish off this top one.
Now I gotta talk about the downside of going for Titanic Hydra second. It's not a Sterix, he's not as tanky as he would have been with a more defensive build, and Kumo's actually losing his life very frequently here. And such is the case when you've got to make choices in itemization. Still has the CS lead, but he's 4-5. You look at Ruin, 1-1-10. Yeah, had a rough laning phase, sure. But
that's Soraka thing.
So much. Yeah, hashtag Soraka things.
All right, here's another look. Smoothie did have the aftershock, turns on his stone plate, goes back in. Zeyzal re-engages with a good charm. It's right here where Kumo dunks into the back line where they get the exchange kills. He does get a big AoE burst, but actually that redemption as well was another giant heal. That was a really well-placed redemption from Ruin on top of the ultimate from Soraka. He got every surviving member of CLG in that big heal as well, which meant there was no possible chase down there from EG. And it's just the 1-for-1. Plus, the top outer tower was taken down in the aftermath.
And the triple Cloud Drake actually doing a lot of work for CLG. Kumo's ult cooldown is 80 seconds still. Ruin's is shorter now. It's down to 71 seconds because of the 30% ult CDR. Turns out having Wish constantly is pretty valuable. And CLG positioning around Baron, also looking for maybe a pick in the mid lane. There's the ult, they're gonna find the slow. They can root Zeyzal in place. Bang has to burn his ultimate, but that's gonna be a re-engage towards Wiggily. Big damage there, pulling him right back in. Tries EQ away, gets dumped though, and they will take a 1-for-0. Shockwave gets the front line now as well, but they will trade back on the Zeyzal, and they'll get Elise as well. The back line of CLG is free-firing. Bang can't get out, and look at the blow! It turns out CLG likes Italian food. Jiizuke goes down as well.
They take down the CLG front line, but then Stixxay just runs right in there with the Aphelios, and Soraka at his back keeps him upright the entire time, and CLG will take the team fight. They'll take Baron number 2 here, Freak, and this one should get them a lot more of the structures of EG's base. Crown even gonna not waste any time and finishes off one of these secondary turrets. CLG are running straight for those inhibitor turrets next.
In this fight, once again, engaged. Somewhat by Counterlogic Gaming, the other one's going forward. It's a re-engage by EG, but the team fight, better for Counterlogic.
And look at this. It was a great route into the stun, into the ultimate from Kumo. That opening combination from EG was so good to get the front line. But Zeyzal in the backside uses the entire charm, gets bursted down, and that stun from Crown. Crown lays out the giant AoE stun, and then Stixxay can just walk straight up. Smoothie was behind Stixxay there for that re-engage. And then Soraka spamming heals. Stixxay gets to stay alive at, what was that, 50 HP,
yeah.
I believe? Redemption and
Soul.
spam heals all coming through. Soul Dragon, Baron number 2. They got this one in the bag, right, Freak? The 0-4 CLG.
Yeah,
About to tip it over.
Never doubt Counterlogic Gaming. They never defy expectations. CLG, it's in the name.
No.
They're going to walk forward to the bottom lane now.
All right. With Baron, the siege should be very easy. As long as Ruins just stands back behind the rest of the team, they can just run straight through these towers. All right, gonna have to have this recall off. EG have to protect the inhibitor turret. See if they can get their shockwave combo we've been looking for.
Look how far Smoothie gets to play. They know they've got the better team fight right now. 6,000 gold lead, Baron buff on as well. Extra move speed, Kumo on the flank. This is the play that'll make or break the game. Wiggily gets jumped right back into the squad. There's an up to the back line. They're gonna keep CLG alive just barely as one turret falls. Kumo is gonna drop now, and the health bars are big enough. EG are without a front line. And a 5v4 for CLG, ready to push right back in. Ready to go. A quick TP to reset Ruin's health bar. And CLG look for their first win of the season. A nice stun on the back line. Here comes turret number 1 at the front of the Nexus. And EG, when can they find their opening? The minions are starting to run low. Just the one cannon left, Jiizuke. A single Q will kill it. They buy a few more seconds, but here comes the next wave. 20 seconds on Kumo's respawn. CLG go for round 2. Go for the big root. Jiizuke is gonna be caught out, and he's gonna drop. No! He flashes. He gets the shield. He stays alive. Wiggily almost down as well. Zeyzal off on the side. Here comes the re-engage towards Svenskeren. They knock him down as well. 5 seconds on set. The health bars are low on CLG. Ruin has mana, but he's gonna run out of health. He uses his own health bar to get his teammates to safety, and ults to refill absolutely everything. 30 seconds of 5v4, and CLG can keep going. That cooldown's not even long. It's back again by the time Svenskeren respawns practically. A new trap comes down. The next turret falls. CLG goes for the engage. The pick in now, is it enough? It's a domination from Crown. They've knocked down the mid laner. Make it a second, make it a third. Counterlogic Gaming with the comeback win. Grab the first win of the split.
Number 1 in Kobe's rule of war. War of attrition, always run by the team with Soraka.
Yeah. That's what happened.
Ruin able to refill health bars, as you say, basically on cooldown there. And this is why we've seen across the globe, Soraka and Sona, these healers, really flooding through.
Under a minute cooldown with 4 Cloud Drakes on Soraka. Heals for over 850 if you're low. On everyone. Big stuff out of him, 2-1 and 19. Missed out on 2 KP all game. It's a pretty solid 21 KDA. By the way, 20 stack Majais on the Soraka. Like really good stuff out of Ruin there. The laning phase was shaky, but his actual contributions in team fights were massive. And I'm impressed by CLG.